Friends, welcome back to Startup or Shut Up, the podcast where dreamers turn doers and side hustles turn into legacies. I'm your host, Nurse Colin, and today's guest is someone who embodies transformation. She's a trans Latina powerhouse, a boss with a brush, and the co-founder of Luxeria Productions, one of the most electrifying nightlife brands in Chicago. Today we're talking about identity, resilience, beauty, and how Dinora turned her creativity into a community. Let's get into it. Please welcome Dinora.
Awesome. Hi, everybody.
All right, so let's jump right into it. So, a girl named Dinora.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dinora, take us back. What was little Dinora like, and what were you into, and what kind of kid were you?
I was very that artistic kid who always wanted to play with dolls. Little me, when I was little boy, I always wanted to play with my sister's dolls. Very outgoing, always wanted to be playing around outside. I was like always escaping my mom's house because I just wanted to be outside. I was one of those kids that always wanted to be outside. That was little Dinora back in the day.
That's cool. And of course, in your intro too, you're trans as well, so you live a much different experience. What was that kind of like growing up, as far as when you were little as well?
I didn't had a very bad experience when I was little. A lot of our fellow family members of the community have gone through bullying and stuff, and I went through a little bit of bullying. I think it's bullying was like a thing that I think every person from the community has suffered. So, but I was one of the big kids, and I didn't let myself get bullied. So I always fronted in and fought the bully. So that's one of the things that my parents always said: do not let no one bully you, not let or step on you or something push you, or just defend yourself. Those were my parents. My parents come from a very harsh Mexican family. So it was always kind of like protect yourself. Don't let no one bully you. So that was me. I was getting bullied, but not letting myself get bullied.
Absolutely. And I know that you mentioned that your family's Mexican, and so my understanding is you're first generation, right?
Yes, I am first generation. My parents immigrated here back in the 80s when,
Wow.
yeah, they actually met here. My parents met here in the US. So they met here, they got married here, and then they had me, and then we have my brothers, and then we have two other sisters and two little brothers. So yeah, I'm first generation actually.
That's really cool. That's powerful. What
Yes.
was it like growing up in between cultures? Can you share a little bit of that and
You
put into
two
your
different
window?
worlds, two different worlds. You had to go to school with a bunch of white kids, and I lived in the suburbs. I always lived in the suburbs. It was mostly Wheeling area, Prospect Heights, Arlington Heights area. It's always like we were not a lot of Latinos back in the days, not like
Hmm.
now. It was two different things. We had to go to school, and we had to like be with the white kids and learn the white culture, the American culture, and then going home and following Mexican culture, Latina culture. So it was two different people. I had to learn how to divide myself because my parents were like, okay, at school, you speak all the English you want. Outside of home, you speak all the English you want. But once you step into the house, we speak Spanish here. It was a little bit hard, because imagine coming during the day, you are hanging out with a lot of white kids, and all of a sudden, like, you come home and you need to transition to only Spanish. So it was a little hard, living two lives.
Yeah. Yeah, it does sound like living like two lives.
Yes.
What kind of feelings or emotions did that instill in you, or the feelings that you felt when going through that? And
When you're little, you're confused. I was kind of confused because I was like, oh, why can I like speak English at home like I do during school, during the day? It was very hard for me. I did have a hard time um, learning English and then speaking Spanish at home. At school, it was a hard time for me. So it was, I had to have special teachers kind of like show me, read me, because I was more like a visual kind of
Mm.
learner. So that was another hard part because I couldn't kind of read stuff and then I couldn't get it. So I had to like somebody had to like teach me how to do it. And so it was a bit hard when I was growing up, doing two worlds at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, let's talk about a little bit of identity. I mean, we already have the identity of, first generation Mexican,
Hmm.
speaking English at school and outside the home, speaking primarily Spanish in the
Yeah.
home, and then you're also trans. So
Yes.
when did you first start understanding that you were a trans girl?
I really like when I was little, I was like, I always liked everything girly.
Mm,
When we had my little sister came along and I wanted everything she had. But at the same time, I still was doing the boys things, the Transformers, the Lego cars, everything boys I was doing. But at the same time, I really wanted to do everything girly. I loved everything. The dresses, the dolls, Barbie was my inspiration. So, yeah, so, it was, I was not confused, but I was like, maybe this is something normal. Like I grew up like, but
hmm
then growing up and going to school and seeing that it was different, I had
hmm
to like, I calmed down a little bit, and then, but I still was very feminine. I was always the tomboy and boy in school, and growing up, I was very feminine. So once I turned 21, then I was like, you know what? I want to be myself. I'm going to start transitioning. I started transitioning, started letting my hair grow. And then after 5 years, I decided to go to hormone therapy. And I've been doing hormone therapy for almost 10 years now.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
cool. And I've almost known you for almost 10 years now. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. I met you when you were a baby.
Yes.
Yes.
And then can you share a little bit more about like your journey as far as like balancing your truth with your family? Like how did they feel? I know like Spanish culture in general is very Catholic. Like my husband's family's Catholic,
Hmm.
right? And so that can be a little bit of a struggle. So
Yeah.
very curious about balancing your truth with your truth of everyone else that's in your life.
Well, I'm very thankful. Like I always thank the universe and God that I have a very awesome family that especially my mom was very accepting. Like she knew from the beginning,
Mm,
but the only thing that she didn't like that is I told one of my aunts when I came out, and that was kind of like devastating for her that I told
mm,
one of my aunts. I didn't tell my mom, I told one of my aunts because I felt more comfortable with my aunt. She was younger, she was the aunt that like, everybody had the cool aunt, and she was like, you know
mm.
what, whatever you are, I'm here. I felt a little more comfortable with her, but my mom was always very supportive. I'm very grateful that I have a very supportive family. I know some of the LGBTQ community doesn't have that support on their family, but I do, and I'm very, very grateful that I have very supportive family members. I
Yeah.
cannot complain about that. I'm always grateful, grateful, grateful that I have. And yeah, they're Latinos. My dad had a little problem the first 6 months when I came out. He had a little problem, but then my mom talked to him, and then we talked, and I was very upset. Now we get along. We just went on vacation. The beginning of the year in March, we all went on vacation with my sisters, my nieces, and it was a great time, great fun time with them.
That's cool. And
Yeah.
shout out to our moms. I think
Yes.
one other guest, Cool Mom Wallace, did a big shout out to their mom as well.
Yeah.
Pretty
Cool. The
incredible.
cool moms. Shout out to the cool moms.
Definitely. So you've already shared about people, but can you share about those moments, whether kind of growing up and throughout your life, kind of as well, where felt seen, and then where you were blazing your own trail.
When I got started seeing was when I started going to beauty school. When I was, yeah, I felt seen when I was in beauty school. I felt like my talent was out there, and I felt seen as a person, as a talented person. And that's when I started changing. That's when A year later, a year and a half later, I decided to transition. That was the push. Beauty school was kind of like the push for me. Like, be like, "Oh, you have a talent. You're being seen. You're
Mhm.
have this, and that was the push. When a year and a half later, I was like, you know what? I need to bring out who I really am, and I brought Dinora out.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you a little safe space to experiment, right? Because you're literally learning, and
I think
experimenting
it
with
was more
hair
like
and beauty.
the safe space on the beauty industry that
Mm.
I had. It's the beauty industry, and maybe a lot of people have different experience in the beauty industry, but the beauty industry for me gave me a safe space, and a space that I can be myself and I can express myself who I am. That's why that was the push that was like, you know what? Be you, come out, and here I am, Dinora, 10 years
Woo!
later.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And then, can you talk about any of like the struggles that you might have had? Those really low moments, if you're willing to share with the viewers and the listeners.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning, with my family, a very supportive family. I lived with my parents for the longest time. It's embarrassing, but um, I'm very grateful that I had the opportunity to be with them and live with them for the longest time because, like I said, a lot of people don't have that opportunity. The one of the hardest time it was like me leaving my parents' house and starting to live as an adult. And that
Hmm.
was a couple years ago, and it was very hard. And I'm still living, I'm still learning the adulthood, and it's just um that's when I was like, damn, adulthood is not easy, it's very hard. So that was one of the biggest moments in my life, moving out of my parents in a very older age. So if you're young, please move out of your parents when you're young because it's way easy. That's why when I see people, a lot of a lot of Latino families, they love to have their kids in their house.
Absolutely.
And I feel like my mom was that mom that she wanted me there because she worried about my lifestyle, about who I was.
Hmm.
She will see the news and about a trans movie getting killed, or she would like see a lot of very bad news about trans people. And I think she worried a lot when she did. I think that's one of the reasons why she didn't say leave or she will kick me out. The reason why we left is she sold their house. They both retired. So now they live in Mexico and they come here and they visit my sisters, my
Mm.
nieces. And yeah, so I think that was one of the reasons more she wanted me to be safe. She wanted me to, but it was a good thing and a bad thing, for me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I worked at Howard Brown when roughly about the time that I met you, and there's just
Mhm.
so many LGBTQ kids that are homeless at such young
Yes,
ages
yes.
because they're found out. Parents don't want them there. They don't feel safe. Something
I
happens to
have
their parents.
very close friends that like, we went to high school together and their parents found out and they got kicked out. And, it's very sad. It's very sad, very, very sad that a parent would do that to their kids. Fortunately for
Definitely.
me, I was one of the lucky ones that I have very supportive parents.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
And then if you could go back and like sit with your teenage self today, what would you say to little Denora at that time?
Teenage Dinora, please save money, get a saving account. Don't get into credit cards, please. Don't get addicted to shopping. Don't become a shopping addiction, brand name, whatever person you were back in the days. Please learn how to save, learn how to use your credit cards. That's what I would tell little Denora, teenage Denora, working. I started working when I was 4. I really wish that I had someone to tell me about financial and tell me how to like save money, put money here, put money in an account. And
Hmm.
I'm learning that now that I'm an adult. I wish that I would learn that when I was a teenager.
Definitely. And it's never too late to start learning, right?
No, it's never too late.
And I'm super excited too because I have some financial experts that are going to be coming on the show very soon
Awesome.
for this season as well. So you'll definitely have to tune in about credit card debt, how to deal with
Yes.
finances and all of that.
Yes.
So
Please, young
yeah.
people out there, please don't get into credit cards.
Yep. You have to
Yeah.
make them work for you, not against you.
Yes, yes. Like I seen podcasts and I seen a lot of people that like that's how rich people get rich using credit cards, but doing it the right way. So there's just, don't go crazy and on a shopping spree in Neiman Marcus like I did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thank you so much, Dinora, about a little bit of your past, and then we're gonna jump into a rapid fire round.
Okay.
All right, so it's time to loosen it up with rapid fire round. Just say the first thing that comes to mind. I have 5 questions, and just the very first thing that comes to your mind, first word. Just let me know, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Uh, Hair or makeup first,
Here.
and then you can use 3 words for this one. Go to glam look in 3 words.
Go to glam look. Mac. What is the that's oh my God. Oh my God. You see, I went blank now. I would definitely say glam look. I would definitely go with MAC, L'Oreal, and I would say Daiso for glam look.
Cool. Most underrated part of Chicago nightlife.
Most underrated. Oh my God. I feel so
I know
old
it's hard
now.
questions.
Oh my God. Underrated nightclub. I have not gone to a nightclub lately. Like the last time I went to a nightclub was like everybody wears casual clothes nowadays. That's very like I don't like that. I used to wear heels and everybody's all about casualness. What happened to the glam? Can we get the glam back, please? Bring the glam back.
Got
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
um, a song that always gets you moving.
Oh, Toxic by Britney Spears. Duh.
Ooh. And last question: Luxuria in 1 word.
Luxury in one word. Luxury. I can
Ooh.
say luxury. Luxury. Luxury, I would like say luxury in one word. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna jump into part 2 from beauty to boss moves.
Okay.
So we talked about you going to beauty school, and so we're
Mhm.
transitioning over to you kind of being your own boss in that experience.
Yes.
So let's talk glam. When did beauty become part of your story?
When I was 9 years old, I used to watch this program every Saturday. It was called Sábado Gigante, and they had this hairdresser. He had a little like kind of like an episode, like how to show what to do and glam. I used to wait for him to come out. His name was Asami, and he had like a saying, "Si tú luces bien, yo luzco mejor." And I used to tell my mom I wanted to be like him. I would see him and do this beautiful updos and makeup and everything. And that's when it started. When I was 9 years old, I wanted to be a beautician. I wanted to be a hairdresser.
But that's very cool.
You know,
And what did your mom say when you told her that?
she didn't say nothing. She like my dad had like a little, very macho saying stuff, but it is what it is. My sisters were always my little models. My 2 sisters, they hated it. They still kind of like they still remember me pulling their hair, doing their updos. So yeah,
That's hilarious.
yeah,
They still remember.
they still remember.
It's so funny. Okay. Do you remember your first big client or that moment you realized I can do this professionally?
My first client, I'm gonna say it was a cousin of mine. She asked me to do her updo for prom, and she was my first ever client. She let me do,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
shout out to her. Shout out to her because she let me do her updo for prom back in 2005, 26, and that's when I decided I was like, you know what, I need to go to beauty school. I was like, that was that was the moment that I was like, beauty school is it's time to go to beauty school.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
really, really cool. What a great memory to be able to do
Yes.
that for your cousin. So, and then of course you went to school. Can you share like where you went to, how long
Yeah,
it took you to build your skills?
I went to Empire Beauty School in Arlington Heights. I don't even know if they're open still.
Mm,
I don't even know if that school still opens. I went there for 2 years. I took the 2 year program. And then from there, I worked at Mario Cicciosi for a year and a half. And I started right away working at a salon as an assistant when I was in beauty school. I was 6 months into beauty school. I right away got an assistant job. Only tips. Back in the days, the assistants were only getting tips.
mm.
And then 3 months later, they will say, "Okay, you can get hourly. You can get more hours." And that's how I built, and that's how I started. I always started from the bottom, being an assistant, not getting paid, only tips. So I started from the bottom. Yeah, definitely.
It's a great way to work. I identify with you as well. Like I started working when I was 14 at the local public pool.
Hmm.
I just found some financial independence that I didn't have to rely on my parents as much.
Hmm.
It just gave me a sense of responsibility a little bit more too. So
Yeah.
start young.
Like, yeah, when I started working at 14, I really wanted, like, getting my own things. Kind of like, my parents will always give me whatever I wanted, but, you know, it was a time that you wanted more things. So I worked, and that's how I got my stuff.
Cool. And then as a trans Latina in beauty, I know that you already a little bit mentioned that this kind of felt like your space where you could finally discover yourself.
Yes.
And can you share about that experience of being welcomed, or even a time that maybe there was maybe some turbulence going to school, and then if you had to kind of carve out your own lane or not, or how that experience developed?
I didn't have any better experiences in beauty school. I'm gonna say that I was very outgoing with people. You're always gonna have those people that they don't like you, but you're not gonna like, and not everybody's gonna like you. So
Mm.
it
Mm-hmm.
was very hard for me in the beginning to have people. So I don't understand why they don't like me, or
Mm.
why I always try to be cool with everybody, nice with everybody. But if you were mean to me, I will, like, come back and I will respond back, because I just feel like you being mean to me. Why? I'm not doing
Mm-hmm.
nothing to you. So any bad experiences in beauty school I didn't have, and I was very cool with everybody. And if they talked to me, fine. If they didn't, I just walked away, and I'm not gonna be pushy either. It took me a while to learn. Then not everybody's gonna like you, so you just have to, just walk away and keep on
Mm-hmm.
going. Life keeps on going.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Try not to be bothered with other people's own whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Don't push it, and not everybody's gonna like you. It is what it is.
And you only have control over your own self. You don't have control over
Yeah,
other
yeah.
people, right? Got to let things
Yes,
go.
yes, yes, yes.
And then final question about beauty. What's something beauty taught you, not just about others, but about yourself?
Beauty taught me that accept yourself, always accept yourself, who you are. And beauty is just a little sprinkle to sprinkle your day, sprinkle your life, or just feel beautiful when you put makeup on, when you do your hair. It's just like, for me, every time I do my makeup or I do my hair, I just feel something special. It's just, I have learned a lot about beauty, that just accept yourself who you are, and just put a little sprinkle on it, and
Mm.
voila.
Startup or Shutup is brought to you by PeerFounder, the crowdfunding platform where entrepreneurs set their own terms and funders can receive optional cash returns. Whether you're just starting out or leveling up your business, PeerFounder is the community, marketplace, and support system you've been looking for. Connect with other entrepreneurs, launch your campaign on your terms, build your dream without giving up equity. Creating your account is completely free, and crowdfunding goes live October 1st. Join the movement. Make your free account today and get ready to fund your future. PeerFounder, your ideas, your terms, your community. Go to peerfounder.com now to change your life.
Love that. That's really cute. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're stepping into your shut up moment.
Okay.
So all right, every guest on the show shares their shut up moment. The point where you stopped waiting, stopped doubting, and said, "Shut up, I'm doing this." What was that moment for you?
Starting my own company. It was a little push from a friend of mine who was like, you have to do parties. You know, a lot of people, you need to start doing this. I was a little scared in the beginning, not gonna lie.
Mm,
I was scared because I didn't want to be that person coming in the industry trying to do parties, and then, you know, I seen promoters kind of like doing parties and fade away, and
mm,
I didn't want that. That's what really scared me. But I
mm-hmm.
told myself, shut up, do it, try it, and go for it, and just do it. And
Totally.
that was the moment. Yeah, that was the moment having that. Just do it.
Yes, you definitely have to take a chance on yourself and just, kind of dive deep first, feet first.
Yep. That was
Great.
one of the biggest moments.
Wonderful. That's pretty cool. So that actually takes us over to Luxuria now, talking about nightlife.
Okay.
And then we'll do a little promo for you.
Okay.
Welcome
Yes.
back.
Wow. I'm back. Circuit Barbie in the house now.
Love it. You call yourself Circuit Barbie. So can you share a little bit about that, about your name?
Circuit Barbie was born back in, I'm going to say 2019, like before COVID. She was born and she was out and about being crazy in Miami. And then she was born there. that was, that was, that was Circuit Barbie going all crazy in the circuit parties.
Just in case of if any listeners are listening and they don't know what circuit means, can you explain what circuit means or what that
Circuit is
nightlife?
it's a big party full of masculine, beautiful men. You can see parties. Circuit parties have changed since I started. So it's just a party. I always had an amazing time in circuit parties. Have always had an amazing time in circuit parties. So for me, I love circuit parties. They're just amazing. You meet wonderful people from around the world. You meet different people from around the world. So circuit parties are awesome.
Cool. Okay, so then we'll jump into the nightlife part. How
Okay.
did you find yourself in that world? Let's be like specific within the circuit community.
The circuit community. I was scared in the beginning. I'm telling you. Back in the day, circuit parties were all about just beautiful, gorgeous, masculine men. They were like walking in there, not being the perfect body and the perfect everything, because that's what it was presented to me at that time.
Mm,
I was a little scared. I don't know if you've been to circuit parties and you see the people on the corner, on the dark sides, on the parts of that was me. That was it. I love the music. I was like, the music is awesome. I love this. And I just love the energy
mm,
but I was always like in the corner on the back, the,
mm,
the chubby little kid over there. So yeah, I was a little scared in the beginning, but you know, accepting who I was and who I
mhm.
am, it was just like, little by little. And I started my transition in circuiting too. So
Mm,
people who actually met me is a very familiar gay boy to transition to Dinora. They
mhm.
saw the transition and everything. I I was scared when I was transitioning, going to circuit parties too. I was like, I don't know if they're gonna accept me because there's not a lot of dolls, a lot of girls who go to circuit parties back.
Mhm.
Now you see more exclusivity. You see more
Mhm.
trans girls. You see more queer people in circuit parties. You see more dolls. You see
Mhm.
more and more. It's getting more and more exclusive. It's getting more accepted. Everybody's welcome,
Mhm.
But I come from the dinosaur area that like it was only Matt.
That's hilarious.
And you always see like I remember seeing one or two trans beautiful dolls. They were always with the boys and everything,
Mm,
and I would always be like, "Oh my god!" But yeah, I got accepted, and I hope always had very good experiences with the circuit community.
definitely.
And I
How did
met
you?
you in a circuit party like long time ago,
Yes, long, long time ago.
long time ago.
How did you find yourself becoming accepted? Because that big fear could be a big barrier for even just connecting and maybe even chit chatting with people. Can you tell about
Just
that
being
moment?
myself,
Yeah.
just being myself and being who I am. Always being. I have noticed that the second community, if you're nice, they're gonna treat you nice.
Hmm.
I was always being myself, and I was always cool with everybody. I'm always cool with everybody. Hi to everybody. There's people like they don't say hi to you. Okay, bye. You just walk away, and. But I'm just being myself. I've learned just being myself and um accepting myself, and that's how I was accepted in the circuit community.
Cool. And then, so you started Luxuria, your co-founder.
Yes.
What did you find that was missing from the scene, or that market that was missing, that made you want to build something of your own, Luxuria?
I don't know how can I put this. We needed like somebody Latino, somebody who was out there and putting. I felt like we are very a lot of Latino circuit queens in the circuit community, and we're not really out there yet. So that was one of the reasons I was wanted to start a company too. And I was like, I'm Latina, I'm trans, and let's go for it. Let's always put I always try to put the Latino, my Latino roots out there.
Hmm.
I always want to put that out there that supporting the Latino DJs, supporting the Latino circuit community, always, we needed something like that. We needed something different. So I have my business partners who are Fernando and Jimmy,
Hmm.
and Fernando is Latino, and Jimmy is my other business partner. So he's a
Hmm.
white man. So we are a powerhouse, three of
Definitely.
us. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and I don't know if people even realize too, like over half the population in Chicago is some kind of Mexican heritage now.
Diverse. It's
Yeah.
very diverse. And we do have a lot of Mexican populated here in Chicago. So it's wonderful. You have a lot of like little cities in the city, you
Hmm.
know. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's definitely my favorite thing about Chicago is the little tiny neighborhoods. It's so different.
so cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, take us back to the beginning when you were thinking about Luxuria, and how did Luxuria come to life?
Let's go to the beginning. Luxuria started in 2021 when it was during the COVID area, kind of like when
Mm-hmm.
everything kind of was opening again. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you went out and you had to stand in front of a table and
Yes. Yep.
that was the only thing you can do.
Yep.
I was like, this is not cute. Everything's open. My first party was in a basement. Did it? I think you went, no? Or I think
Yes.
you were.
Yes. Yes. I
Yes.
went to that
Yeah.
party.
And the
Yeah.
suburbs. There was
Yes.
my cousin used to have a big house with a big
Huh?
basement.
Yep.
And I told him, I was like, I want to throw a party. I have a lot of people who are willing to pay. And he's like, bring them on. And
Mm,
that basement was awesome. That basement
definitely.
was, it was a mini club. It was a mini
Yeah.
club.
I
And
had no idea. So sorry. Sorry.
I
I had
spent
no idea.
120 people there.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
pretty incredible.
That was my first party. That was the first time.
I,
And then from then we went to a club in Niles. Then that's when I decided to have a company. Then and
mm,
yeah, that's when I decided to have a company and named it Luxuria. And there's a track. This is a lot of people don't know this, but there's a track that's Luxuria, and the girl says Luxuria, and that's
mm.
where I got the name from.
Cool. Yeah, I had no idea that first party was literally the creation of Luxuria, which is
Yeah, it
really
was a
cool.
flower party. It was in. I remember it was like it was a flower party.
Definitely. And I know that you shared that track. There's a specific track that has the name Luxuria, but what does
Hmm.
it also mean to you now as far as where you're at with your company?
I cannot believe it. We're going for 4 years now, and it's amazing that all the success that we have and all the support that we have from the community, from the circuit community, from different circuit communities from around the world. It's just like I was shocked for when I did the IML this year that one of the parties was full capacity, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I had to close the door because it was full capacity. I was like, "Oh my god, we did it! We did it!" That's it's just Luxuria has been everything. It's my baby. It's our baby because I have it with other business
Mm-hmm.
partners. So it's just amazing, amazing that I've been having all the support from the community. And shout out to the circuit community. Thank you so much for supporting us, and and shout out to everybody from all different communities who go to our parties and support our parties, and everybody's welcome to our parties. So shout out to everyone who supports our parties.
That's cool. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely an experience for sure.
Yes.
And then so when you're thinking of Luxuria too and kind of coming up with your concept with your business partners, what were you kind of like trying to manifest with that or try to bring into the scene?
Something different, and I wanted to put that because trans girls, the dolls were not getting accepted a lot in the circuit community.
Mm,
So I wanted to have like a safe space for everyone who doesn't. There's a lot of people sometimes they don't feel accepted in certain communities. I want my parties to be everyone is welcome. You don't need to be a circuit queen. You can be anything you want, and I just want a safe space for everybody,
mm-hmm,
And me being a trans Latina woman, I really was like, you know what? I want a safe space so all my trans girls can come, everybody can come and feel safe. It was and that's what I'm always gonna have that, and I always want to put that I want everybody when they come to my party, I want them to feel safe and know that it's a safe space for you to party and have a good time.
definitely. Yeah,
Yes.
that's pretty cool. Take us back to like your very first party as Luxuria, not the one in the basement, right? Like the
And not that
one
one.
where
You want to know the first one in the burbs?
yeah, like the very
The
first
first one
one
in the
that was
club.
Luxuria. Yeah. Yep,
Oh,
at a
okay.
club.
Okay. The first one in the club was at the burbs in Niles. It was cute. We had 100 people, and I was like, okay, this is cute.
Mhm.
And Papi, after that, like the second, the third, that was a flop. After the third one, I really was, fuck, I was like, oh my God, like, oh, am I good for this?
Mm,
But you know what? I have people around me. I have a very good friend of mine, Edward. He was the one who pushed me to start doing parties. He was the one, don't give up. We'll
mhm.
find a place.
Mhm.
You just have to move to the city, move your parties to the city.
Mhm.
And I didn't want to do that. I was like, I don't want to go there, the competition, and then he's like, that's when I pushed myself too. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's see what happens. Shout out to Fantasy Nightclub. Okay, they let me do my first party there. And it was my Halloween party um, with DJ Edward. And it was a success. I was just like, okay, I like this. This is good. The queens are coming, everybody's coming. I was like, okay, we'll do the parties here. And since then, Fantasy's always been so nice with us, always having our parties on Sundays, Wepa,
Mhm.
once a month party, and it's been amazing success. And yeah, I can say it's 4 years now, so it's amazing.
Definitely. And I don't know if people that are listening that maybe aren't into nightlife or maybe they go and have a good time at certain points, they might not know exactly what is involved with throwing a party at a venue and everything. Can you Can you share all the
It's
difficulties,
not
everything?
easy. It's not easy. Honestly, whoever tells you, "Oh, let's throw a party," it's easy. No, 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 no. It's not. It's with good stuff.
Mm,
When we do theme parties, so you need to have an awesome team that does the themes for the decoration.
mm-hmm.
You need to have someone who does the costumes for the dancers. Get dancers, get somebody who takes care of your social media, do videos, photos. It's a lot. It's just a lot. It's in the beginning I was like, I used to tell my friend that I was like, you never told me I had to do all this. Like, you didn't ever told me I have to like go to the storage and put all this stuff and take it
Mm-hmm.
down. That's this was not painted in the story when you told me to do parties. But that's the hard work you need to put in. You need to like do that because we're beginning, and I know in the future we will have a team that's gonna go in and put all the stuff together. I don't need to. I just gonna come in and I know in the future I'm just gonna be the queen of the night and that's it. But not right now. I still have to work very hard.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you also, because there's so much pieces to the puzzle of throwing a wonderful party, right? Without a hitch.
Yes.
Can you tell us about a moment where you maybe like you or the team felt like things were just kind of going off the rails and like had to pull together or something like that, where there was just that increased sense of anxiety over one of the parties?
You always have those increased moments in every party. You always have
Mm,
There's always little moments. And every party has their little moments. If something can go wrong with the lights, something can go wrong with the
mm,
sound. One of the speakers blew out because the DJ was playing too hard. The people next door they're complaining it's too loud. Someone is
mm,
speaking. Like every party has their little thing. Oh, one of the costumes is not fitting the dancers. We need to find another, plan B. It's just like every party has a little thing. I'm not gonna say like, oh my God, they're
mm.
big things, but they're just little things that like, and then by the end of the day, you just like be like, I'm just happy when the clients come and they're like, oh, your party was amazing, and I'm just happy that they don't know what's going on behind everything. I just want everybody to have a good time. That's what I want everybody to have a good time. But everybody has their little things, here and there.
Definitely. And then, because you're always doing something now, do you know about how many parties you're throwing in a year at this point?
So there's there's 12 months. So each month we do one or two parties. So that's a lot. How many parties are we doing? Like
That would be
more
about
than
24, 20,
25?
right?
I can
Uh-huh.
say we can do like 24 parties. And then we take a break. Some months we only do one party, but after like let's say September, we're doing two parties a month. It's the Sunday party and after hours. So yeah, we can do like 24, 25 parties a month for a whole year. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, cool. And then what do you think makes Luxuria different from any other brand within the circuit world or what have you?
I don't see. I think we're different because we're unique. We have that very unique, and I just feel that putting my Latina roots in there and always expressing my Latina roots in there, that makes it unique to other parties. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not only me. We have my other business partners. We have Fernando, who is the director of designing all the costumes for the dancers. He does an amazing job. He makes the costume that makes it unique. And then we have Jimmy, who's the operation manager. He does an amazing job too. He wants everything to go smooth and nice, and that makes it unique that we have everything. It comes to one and it's unique. So yeah, Luxuria, it's just unique.
Definitely. And there's three of you essentially, right? Could you share like your teamwork and how things kind of function for you guys, or even imagine trying to do this by yourself in a way?
I tried doing it by myself. It didn't work out. It was the three first parties. So when Jimmy Fernando came to Luxuria, Jimmy was the one who came first, and then Fernando came. When Jimmy came to Luxuria, we decided to business up, and it was way better because it was a work for we divided the jobs, and then Fernando came along, and he was the director of all the costumes for the dancers, taking care of the dancers. Me doing it by myself, it was a lot. They are like angels. They came from the sky, and they were like, "Okay, here we are. We're gonna like." But yeah, we have our parts, we have our jobs, so it's much better. The three first parties I did by myself, and it was hectic. It was too much. You know,
Hmm.
you cannot do everything by yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing all of that. And then I know that there's a big weekend for you guys this weekend. For anyone that's
yeah, market
listening live
days.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
What events do you have going on for market days?
So for market days, we have three events. It's gonna be in the same venue at the legendary Baton Lounge Club. It's in
Mm,
Uptown. So we're gonna have a Saturday morning after Meet and Brew. If anybody's going to that, you can go and keep the party going Saturday morning, and then we have Sunday morning after all the big parties. I think there's a lot of parties going on Saturday night, but the main one, it's across the street from the Aragon. So you just have a couple walks and you can go there Saturday, Sunday morning. And then Monday morning, we have another after hours too. After Circuit Mom, Queen, wherever you go and you still want the party going on, we still get your tickets now because tickets go up at the door, everybody. So
totally. Cool.
yeah.
Cool. Love that. Thank you so much, Circuit Barbie, about sharing Luxuria.
Welcome.
We're gonna jump over to fun fact.
Okay.
So before we move into what's next, I want to drop a quick fun fact that speaks directly to what you're building. According to Party Popper's 2025 trend, nightlife is shifting towards something deeper and something more intentional. And I quote, nightlife is becoming more community focused, with venues and events that prioritize inclusivity and connection. In 2025, we'll be seeing more spaces that foster a real sense of belonging and just not a party, right?
Yes.
And the question is why? Because people are craving a meaningful connection in a digital world, right? We're finding ourselves being the most connected, but the most disconnected being in person, right? Um,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and you're already seeing this, like with your guys' party to bring people together. When David and I go out, it's just absolutely incredible with how many people are actually out and enjoying.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so I already see that personally with like queer friendly clubs that are acting as a safe space for anyone because
Yeah.
I've been to like the more straight scene too, and it's a different vibe, right?
Way different vibe. Way different vibe.
And there's cultural celebration nights, uplifting underrepresented identities. That's where you're bringing in the Latina, right? That
Yeah.
little spiciness, and then
Yes.
you're also finding those hybrid venues that serve as some like even some co-working spots. I've heard of like some restaurants like in Uptown that throw like a rave at night that's kind of secret as well.
That's one of the things I like those kind of parties. I'm gonna say that when I was a teenager, there was the raves, but the raves were very underground. If a lot of people remember, they were like in like weird warehouses
Huh?
somewhere in like someone in the ditch of somewhere, and we went to those raves. We didn't care. We just went to have a good time.
Mm,
Now they're throwing raves in coffee shops and
mm-hmm.
little restaurants. I was following like someone from IG. She's a promoter and she finds little weird shops and little places in Mexico City. She throws
Cool.
parties and yeah, they're like, so right now that's the thing, like throwing little parties here and there. But another thing is people think it's easy throwing parties and it's not easy. It's not. So it's you just need to find a safe space for your people, for your
Mm-hmm.
clientele, That's my number one thing. It's like I can throw a party in a very luxury place, right? A
Mm-hmm.
very big, but if I'm gonna have security being very aggressive and not like LGBT friendly and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want my people to feel aggressive. I have gone to parties back in the days that like, big parties were made in straight venues and security was very rude to them. It's that I don't want that from my clientele. I want them to feel safe and I want them to come and enjoy. I don't want them to feel harassed by security or anybody from the
Mm-hmm.
employees of the place.
Totally. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
it really honestly sounds like luxury is ahead of the trend too,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. How do you see yourself fitting into this future of nightlife?
Oh, how do I see myself? I'm just going with the flow right now. Honestly, if I see getting bigger, let's get bigger. Right now, I'm just focusing in market days and
Mm-hmm.
the future of Luxuria, the next parties for next year too. So I see myself being big. I just want my people and all the people who will go to my party, like I said, feel very, very safe, and I want them to have a great time, you know?
Totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
and for all the listeners too, like Dinora also has a day job, right? So it's like
Yes.
she's constantly working and constantly
Yeah.
hustling.
Yeah. Yeah. Being a hairdresser and being a promoter and having your own company, it's very hard.
Definitely.
But I'm here.
Yeah. And you're killing it. Quite
Thank
honestly.
you, baby. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Okay, so it's taking us over to our last part about
Okay.
impact, legacy, and what's coming up next. Are you ready?
Alrighty. I'm ready.
What's been one of the most emotional or affirming moments you've experienced at a Luxuria event?
When we had over 300 people in one of my events, that was my most emotional. For me, it was very special. It was a Sunday afternoon and having 300 people. Yeah, it's like where do they come from? It's Sunday. It's 7:30 on a Sunday, and there's 300 people in fantasy in my party. That was very emotional for me, and that's when I was like, okay, I can do this. And that was very emotional. And just like having my team, like having my business partners, amazing business partners and having their support and having my Luxuria team from my light guy, my sound guy, from my social media person, the people who help us do the costumes and hair and wigs and everything. It's just like I'm very grateful that I have an army behind me, and it's amazing to have them because I know other promoters and other party people don't have an army, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, very grateful to have an army behind me, have my tribe behind me. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's pretty powerful. I mean, kind of going back to your story of the first time you went to a party and, you're scared, you're fearful of your connection, and then now you literally have an army.
Yeah, I have an army. Even the times that I have gone to other parties around the USA and seeing parties and how I can see they don't have a team, and it's just like I'm very grateful that I have a tribe behind me. And it's just like, yeah, always
Cool.
grateful.
Definitely. Yeah, yeah, definitely be super grateful for that. You
Yes.
can't always find those good people.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, but I'm grateful.
Definitely. How do you think Luxuria is shaping or even unlocking the next wave of queer or Latinx creativity?
How are we shaping? I just feel that like we're shaping and we're going through whatever our customers. We listen to our customers. I
Mm,
always, I always, always listen when people come to me and they have comments and stuff. I just listen. I listen. Like for example, this year we're doing an exclusive. We're not gonna have like VIP, nothing like
mm,
that. Everybody is welcome to
mm,
all the rooms, enjoying everything.
mm.
I just wanna I was listening and I saw that a lot of other places took out the VIP and that VIP section and all that. I listened and I'm giving that to my people, you know. I just feel that listening to your clients, I come from the hairdressing world, so I
Mm-hmm.
always listen to my clients, you know, what
Hmm.
they want and what is it. So I always just listen to my clientele and I'm serving them to them, you know?
Cool. Yeah,
You know.
that can be a struggle as a business owner to really listen and capture that, but that's quite an amazing.
Yeah. I just think that they're your clients. They're the ones who are coming and paying. So if they have a comment and just listen, you know, you can take it, put it in a note, or
Mm-hmm.
just keep it to yourself and listen. And when it comes to meeting with your team and stuff, put it out there. How about this? We can do this. We can do that. You know, I just love and I want to thank all my clients and everybody who goes to the parties and they gave me their feedback. I do listen. I listen
Mm-hmm.
to every feedback, you know, I listen. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then let's kind of shift focus over to business for a
Yeah.
second too. What's the hardest thing about transitioning from working for someone else to working for yourself?
You work more when you work for yourself. You work more. When they tell you own your own business, yeah, own your own business, but you make sure just be ready that you're gonna work more because it's your business and you need to work harder, you know. Working
Mm-hmm.
with someone else is just like you're getting paid hourly commission, whatever, and you just don't care. You're just like, I'm here to
Mm-hmm.
do my job. No, when you have your own business, it's your business. It's your company, your image, everything. So you have to work as double as when you're working with someone. But
Totally.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And what do you find that you get out of that when you're putting in all that time as well?
Ugh, I'm tired. Especially, it's like doing parties in the nightlife. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm a hairdresser, and then doing parties at nighttime, your body gets tired. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, you do see, you know, you see how people their comments and their feedbacks, and all I get very happy when I like hear
Mm.
people. I love coming to your parties. Oh, thank you so much for doing this. This is what Chicago needed. It needed like a oomph. And, you know, I just love listening to wonderful feedbacks that my clients and our customers give us, you know? So, yeah.
Definitely.
Hmm.
And then of course when you're starting a business too, like there's money that's involved, right? Like I could only imagine like each venue that they require
It's
some kind of like minimum or like retainer. Can you share a
It's
little bit about that?
minimum or rental fees or door fees or beverage fees. Every venue has. It's why, and it's not easy to find a venue who accepts LGBTQ
Mhm.
community. That's why I'm very grateful with the venues that we're working with. I am very grateful because they've been so awesome with us. And like I said earlier, I've been to different venues, bigger venues,
Mhm.
beautiful venues, but when the vibe is not there, you don't want to bring your people to that place. You know, if the vibe is not there, you'll be like, okay, this is not the vibe. This is not for, if I'm not feeling it, I feel like my people are not going to feel it, you know? So just, you know, just go look around and, you know, we're still looking for different venues to do different parties. So,
Mhm.
you know, because we are trying to do different parties and, you know, we're just looking.
If a venue owner is listening, and you're open
Yeah.
to the idea.
And if you're LGBTQ venues, queer venues, please, you
Mhm.
know, hit me up.
Totally. And still kind of talking about finance too. Can you
Mhm.
share like that moment for Luxuria? Because I could only imagine that you don't have $1 million to
The
just
beginning?
like,
Oh, no.
yeah. How did you control the funding, or how did you get into funding? How did you navigate that like creatively and as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, the beginning, I'm gonna be honest. I just went with it, and I started with a literally zero bank, zero money, and I just went for it. Like, and then the beginning parties were kind of harsh. I had to put money out of my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of harsh, but then baby Jesus brought me a little angel, Jimmy, and he came and he proposed. He came in with a proposal and everything, and I was like. Yeah, and I was like, okay, this is a sign of the universe. He's
Mm-hmm.
coming with a proposal and let's do it. And since then, it's just been amazing, awesome. It's just like, I just feel the last 4 years have been, it was a struggle in the beginning. Nothing's easy when you start
Mm-hmm.
a company or a business. And I have friends who have businesses and they told me, Dinora, don't give up because I will talk to them. I was like, how do you do this, guys? This is too. They're like, don't give up. The beginning is not that easy.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to start seeing some, maybe 5, 6 years. That's when you're going to be like, oh, fuck, like now I did it. Like, my God, I have done it and just don't give up. And shout out to all my friends who have businesses and they have actually helped me and give me a lot of support and advice. And, I'm still there. I'm not giving up. We're going strong for 5 years next year. So, you know, keep on going.
Yeah, and that mentorship is just so priceless coming from other business owners, right? They can just
Yeah, I'm very grateful that I have friends who have businesses and they have actually gave me that mentorship and advice. Even one advice helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Always if you're beginning and you have friends who have businesses, talk to them and a lot of people are different. Some people don't want to like give advice about businesses and stuff, but thank God I have people who actually gave me advice and pointers and I'm very grateful to all those friends.
Yeah. And could you share one piece of advice that you can think of that's not, like it's going to be hard starting off and just keep going? Is there something else that is like kind of stuck in your memory and being able to apply to Luxuria in all your businesses?
Just don't give up. Don't give up. It's gonna be it's hard. It's not easy. Every business has their ups and downs. It just don't give up. You're gonna have parties that you're gonna have 50 people. You're gonna have parties that you're gonna have 300 people, 20 people. It's just don't give up. It's coming and just have a lot of faith in you and have a lot of faith in the universe. You know, and they will give it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, what does success mean to you now, Dinora as the human, not just as Dinora as the brand or Circuit Barbie as the brand?
She's crazy. Crazy. My success is I'm just happy that I have a trans Latina woman, that I have people around me that support me. And at this point in my life, I can say that I am happy where I am and very grateful successfully where I am. And my hair, being a hairdresser and being a night promoter for the Sikh community, I am just happy right now. And I'm just waiting for the more success that we have. And I'm just gonna accept it and just be grateful for everything that I'm getting.
Definitely.
Mhm. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so last question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You've been doing great.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So the last one, if someone is listening and is at the edge of their dream or their truth or their next big move, what would you say to them?
If you are in the bottom, like I've been there, just don't give up. Don't give up. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Probably a lot of people has heard this and I have heard it so many times and it's true. Don't give up. Push yourself every day and there is the light at the end of the tunnel. And I was almost ready to give up in the beginning. And when I decided to move to the city and do the parties in the city, that's when I was like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna keep on going, keep doing it. And now I'm here 4 years later, and I just, always don't give up. There's always that light at the end of the tunnel, and you will see it. You will see it.
Definitely. Great advice. All right, so that's bringing us to the end. Dinora, thank you for
No,
your
thank you.
honesty. Oh, it's pretty incredible, and
No,
thank you for your
thank you.
honesty. You're very welcome. Your vision, and for reminding us that beauty, identity, and business can exist in the same room
Yes.
and still make it pop, right?
Yeah. Let's make it pop.
Before we wrap up, the mic is yours, Dinora. Let the folks know where they can follow you, support Luxuria, and then let us know what you have kind of coming up on the other side, because this is going to be airing on Tuesday, so it'll already be after your parties this weekend. But if you can just let everyone know where to follow you, the exciting things coming up, and then anything else you want to share.
Well, everybody, I have IG. You can follow me on IG, The Real Dinora. You can follow me on Facebook, Dinora Alvarez. I use a lot of Facebook for hair stuff and Luxuria too. And if you want, go ahead and follow Luxeria Productions on IG. We have we have everything, all the information for the next parties coming up. We have WEPA coming up in September. We have Halloween coming up in October, sorry. And then we have after hours and September and October, and it's gonna be the Halloween theme in October. So we have a lot of fun parties coming up. Just go ahead, give us a follow, and you will get all the information there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dinora. I really appreciate having you on and being able to help us out with going live for the very first time as well.
Awesome. Yeah.
It's really, really awesome. And thank you for sharing your life story. Your
And thank you for inviting me. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. Finally, we did it.
I know, absolutely. Lots of reschedules, but that is part of life. That is
Yeah.
part of life. You just have to roll with it, right?
Yes.
And it was a great opportunity to be able to bring you on live. So, and thank you for not being scared of that too.
Yeah. I was a little nervous, but I'm here. Circuit Barbie's here.
Definitely. Well, thank you very much, Dora.
And for all of you listening, don't forget to follow Startup or Shutup on Instagram and TikTok, Startup or Shutup.pod. If this episode moved you, inspired you, or made you want to show up bolder, send it to someone who needs it. Your dream doesn't need permission, it needs you.